Hello and welcome to episode 5, numero 5 of the Warhammer podcast. He's back.
I'm back. Sorry, I missed the last one.
Yeah, it's really useless. Okay, he was helping this guy move. So today it's a very special episode. We've got a gap in our fixtures, so we thought we would invite our special guest, Chase Roach.
Hello.
All the way from the US of A.
Yeah.
And we're just going to do an interview about him, about his life in baseball, what he enjoys, what make him enjoy the game.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't we? And we're going to crack on from there. So, first things first, how you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm not too bad, man.
All good?
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm in the process of moving, but doing good.
Yeah.
Still time for baseball, though.
Yeah, always got time for baseball.
Always time for ball.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you've not been here very long. How long have you been here now?
Since January.
Since January.
Yeah.
You enjoying your time?
I love it here, actually, yeah.
What do you think of England?
So far, I mean, besides the weather when I first got here, obviously it was cold, but, I mean, you're going to get that anywhere. But honestly, like, everybody that I've met, everywhere that I've went, everybody's super nice, super friendly. Haven't had anything that really, like, turns me off of the country.
No?
Still
food?
Yeah,
we missed that discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, black pudding. He's not a fan of black pudding.
Not a fan of black pudding at all. I think there needs to be a little bit more salt and spice included in some of the food, but like I said, I enjoy everything.
Which food has shocked you the most that you have liked of English food? Which one have you tried and thought?
It's got to be someone you've looked at and been like, oh, I've been bitten into it and been like, actually, that's good.
Have you had a Scotch egg?
No, not yet.
Oh, that might be a good one.
I love a Scotch egg.
No, I mean, most of the foods that I've tried so far are just like the normal, like obviously fish and chips. I love a good fish and chips, especially with some curry sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Oh, you call me.
Yeah.
What do you mean, no?
Nah, you don't have curry sauce and fish.
Oh, dude, you gotta have
salt
curry
and vinegar.
sauce.
Salt and vinegar.
And curry sauce.
No, you don't get that. A bit of gravy, maybe.
Also gravy, baby.
Also gravy, baby. Big comparison. McDonald's here or back in the USA?
Ooh, it's more fresh here, I think.
That really worries me. So what do you mean it's more fresh here?
It tastes more fresh.
Like it's been made that day.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. Just being like eating McDonald's for 23 years in one place and then coming here.
Yeah.
Just it tastes different in a good way. I enjoy
Portion sizes.
Portions are smaller.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Everything is bigger in the US.
Yeah. Absolutely. KFC here or there?
Not the biggest KFC fan in general, but probably in the States.
Yeah. I can imagine chicken in the States is good.
So as soon as this is a baseball podcast and we're on the subject of food.
Let's get off the food.
We're on the subject of food.
Sorry,
before we crack on.
dudes.
What's your favourite baseball food? When you go to the park, the ballpark?
Oh, it's gotta be a ballpark dog.
Yes, I knew.
Yeah.
I was
gonna say
Ballpark dog, relish, ketchup, mayo, mustard.
Yeah.
The best ballpark dog, real quick, I've ever had was at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. It's called a crab dog. Baltimore, Maryland, or Maryland in general, has the best crab dip anywhere that I've ever been. So they just put crab dip on it.
What's crab dip?
You know what crab is?
Yeah,
obviously, yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's like crab and there's like mayo.
They've turned it into a sauce essentially. Then.
Kind of.
Like a relish.
No, more of like a
relish.
No.
It sounded more English if you tried, like a relish.
No, I'll have to like show you. I can't explain. It's just so good. But it's crab dog or crab dip on a hot dog. Best thing I've ever had.
We'll Google it after the podcast. We'll have a little look.
Definitely look into it.
Baseball's a huge part of your life.
Massive.
That was, as soon as the first time I met you, that was the one thing that really came across to me.
Absolutely massive.
Baseball is huge in your life. So, is it part of your family? Is baseball in your family? Is it a family sport?
It was the family sport.
Yeah.
My grandfather played for all of his life. He worked in Italy for a little bit, and he played on a team out there. So definitely, when I figured out that I was going to move to England and do that, he was ecstatic. My uncles played. One of my uncles, my uncle Luke, he probably would have went pro.
Yeah.
He was a pitcher, pumping 90 as in like grade 9.
Yeah.
So really, really good guy. Unfortunately, he blew out both of his ACLs, and that kind of like tarnished it. Stopped his career.
Just stops that momentum, I suppose. Once you've had that injury, it's
and then my mom, she played softball. My grandmother played softball. So ball's just been everywhere.
I have been watching a bit of softball lately.
Yeah.
Now, what is this is going to sound really naive of me. Okay. Obviously, it's two different sports in its own, but they're both exactly the same. What is the difference? What regarding the ball? Is the diamond smaller? Is the outfield,
so the dimensions on the field are smaller.
Yeah.
I can't give exact just because I don't know. Like I do baseball, but the dimensions are smaller. The mound is smaller. Obviously, they go underhand.
Yeah.
Your bats are thinner.
Yeah.
Is the ball bigger?
The ball is bigger.
Yeah,
it's bigger.
It's yellow.
Yeah, and it's yellow.
Yeah.
So like baseball's like what this. Softball's probably like what this.
Yeah, ish.
Like
yeah.
Are you a softball fan? Would you say?
I've watched softball. When I was in secondary school, high school, we call it. I would go to the softball games just to go support the team, but not something that I normally like will put on.
Yeah,
no.
It's relatable though, I suppose. If you like baseball, it's something you can follow.
I mean, it's massive.
I mean, I could compare it sort of to like rugby league and rugby union.
Yeah.
Right. It's the same game, just different rules, different aspects. So.
Okay. Yeah. So, with you being such a big baseball fan, obviously your granddad.
Yeah.
You followed him. He's a bit of an idol of yours. As you look through the MLB, going back in your past, what player do you resonate with? Which player do you look at and think, I would like to be him?
Yeah, as your idol.
That I would like to be.
Or if you got back, when you was at school and you got back and you watched the highlights, which player did you want to see and what?
Oh, definitely Matt Kemp for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He just day in and day out, absolutely love for the game. Brandon Crawford for the Giants. He was a shortstop.
Yeah.
One of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
And as a catcher, I would have to say Buster Posey.
Buster Posey.
Yeah, one of the greatest. In my opinion, one of the greatest catchers of all time.
Yeah. It's amazing to see. Like, we're relatively new to the game. We've been doing it 5 years. But the amount of work a catcher goes through, unless you play it, is unbelievable. You've got the team to control. You've got the element, like if it's hot day, you've got to bear with that. You're one of the toughest players on the field.
Yeah.
Was it a position you wanted to be in? Or did you kind of start somewhere? Did you start like, let's go right field and work your way in for argument's sake? Where did you go from?
Yeah, so it's funny that you said that. So when I first started playing, I started kind of late. I started in high school.
Really? You didn't play T-ball then?
No, I did not play T-ball. So yeah, I started in high school. I would play with like my uncle in the backyard and stuff, and I knew the mechanics of the game and everything. So they stuck me in right, and I mean the outfield is a huge position. Don't get me wrong, and kudos to all those guys that do it. But at that level, you're just kind of like sitting out there, kicking the grass, picking dandelions.
Yeah. It's a little bit like that sometimes here.
The past few years, it's been like that. Come this year, this season's a lot different.
Yeah.
So I was just, sitting out there and watching the game. I realized the catcher, besides the pitcher, is the next person to touch the ball the most.
Yeah.
And I saw how they controlled the field and they had a voice. So I went up to my coach one day and I was like, hey, I want to start catching. And he was like, okay. So he got me some gear and I started doing it. And
come naturally?
At first, obviously I was scared.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get hit with a baseball.
No.
But it started to become a natural thing. It was just second nature. And that's all I did. And the second I put the gear on, just like you told me when you got your gear, you feel like Iron Man. You feel like a superhero. Putting exactly. Putting this chest protector on and these shin guards, and you wear a mask. It just feels really empowering and really cool knowing that I'm going to be back there and I could stop that winning run or I could throw that guy out at second.
It's very relatable because all three of us have catched. I've done it for the past 3 seasons. You're new this year.
I would say most experience. Next experience. Very
and just that fear of walking on. I mean, you like the grill almost with the helmet.
Yeah.
Where I prefer the actual put on helmet.
Yeah, same.
And when you're walking onto the plate to when you slide the helmet, you do feel badass, don't you?
Yeah.
You do feel badass.
What I like about a catcher position as well is it's overlooked by a lot of people until you get that one moment where you've just stepped up. Like you said, you've got to be loud and put a voice on it. And it's when you're loud and you put a voice on it telling someone what to do and it works. And then everyone then looks at you to be like, you've done
such an underrated position as well. Because if you don't play baseball, you don't appreciate what the catcher does.
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of my friends who have watched it and they go, well, you literally just catch the ball.
Yeah. That's what I've had.
There's a lot more.
People.
Yeah, no,
with a lot of people asking me at the minute how it's going. So what do you do? So you're just the guy catching it. I'm not just the guy catching it. Those are the words.
With catching, I mean, obviously you're catching every ball that the pitcher throws, but you're watching that runner on first.
Yeah.
You're watching that runner on second. You're looking to see where your outfield is positioned.
Everything.
Yeah, you're blocking that ball. Like, you have to know, okay, this guy has stole in the past. I'm in my head knowing that, okay, he might run on this. Yeah. So now let me call fastball for my pitcher, kind of away, so then I can easily transfer to throw that down, right? Like, there's so much that runs through my head on these plays. Yeah. And sometimes I get in my head and I'll miss a ball or I'll mess up the throw. It's like, okay, tap my mask, forget it, I'm on the next play. Yeah. So
that's what I mean by, I think people sort of overlook what you're doing, because a lot of people don't see that bit in between where you're making those calls and what you want. They just assume the pitch has thrown it and you're just naturally throwing it.
I took a mental note. I used to watch the first 2 innings of just a rotation.
Yep.
And you look who's really keen at swinging.
Yeah.
Who's not.
Who's quick.
Who's fast off base. Who's really slow stealing. And when you're not a baseball, you don't understand that part of the game.
Right.
And me as a sportsman and as a baseball player, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I've got to think through all this.
Yeah.
I love the fact I've got to control them out there, and I love that aspect of it. I really do. I think catcher is one of the best positions on the field. Then you go probably shortstop, and then I like centre field. I mean, I just love the game anyway, so I'll go anywhere. But what I really want to know, so if you was going to build your ideal catcher then, so obviously just the framing.
Yeah.
Throwing off to 2. And for general looks, who are you building your ideal catcher off?
Oh, throw to 2 is definitely going to be Yadier Molina.
Hero.
Yeah.
One of the greatest to do it. Played for the Cardinals.
He's the one you told me about. He was telling Matey to go, psyching him up to run.
Yeah.
That pickoff he threw to 1.
The pickoff to 1. Yeah. No. He threw him out at 2. So this guy was trying him at 1. He was stepping off.
He's edging him to go.
Yeah, and he's looking at him. He's looking at him. He's like, all right, go. Receives the pitch, nails him. As he's walking off the field, he's holding his mask, and he's like, yeah, I just did that.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
Such a great moment to watch.
It's badass.
It's so good, but when he does it, because he's on his knees when he makes the throw.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the throw is just like, it's just dead level.
It's perfect.
But that, again, is the skill on its own.
Yeah.
It's so hard to keep that baseball low, straight to 2, where, we're all guilty of it, of just looping it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you're going to get there. We're all guilty of looping it too much, and then 2's not going to tag up.
Yep.
But I think that more on us, on our part, at our level, more falls to we take accuracy over power. Because if we're trying that power accuracy all the time, we're not at that level.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
But it's also
getting it that perfect.
It's also just the repetition, right? Like, we may practice twice a week, where these guys are, they're playing every day, right? Yeah. They get to the field 4, 5, 6 hours early, get their reps in the cage, get their glove work going. So, I mean, these guys are putting their heart and soul onto the field. And this may be a Sunday club ball team, which nothing against that. But every time that I step on this field, I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. So, and that's the mindset that you should have with any game.
Absolutely. Which, as you've said before, if you don't have that mindset when you're planning on coming.
I mean, my mindset as a sportsman generally is, I will give everything I've got all the time.
Yeah.
And
as a coach, you expect that back, I think.
As a coach, I expect people to put their all in, yeah.
Yeah.
What comes out of that is what you put in.
Yeah.
But as me as a sportsman, I want to win. But if we don't win, I want to know we've won going down swinging.
Yeah, of course.
Chasing the game, stuff like that. So you've got Yadier Molina throwing, framing. Because there's some beautiful. I mean, that's an underrated skill in its own.
Yeah, that's a really hard one. Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge, he was amazing at it. Looking at the game now, I mean, Will Smith, Cal Raleigh, Adley Rutschman. There's just so many skillful people.
Has really come on.
Adley Rutschman is amazing.
He's such a good player.
I lived in Virginia for a short period of time, and I got to see him play in AAA. as well as Gunnar Henderson and Kyle Stowers and Kate
He wasn't in
Povich.
AAA for long, though, was he?
No, he got called up pretty fast.
Yeah,
I got to see Jackson Holiday play.
Yeah.
So a lot of the guys that are playing for Baltimore right now, I got to watch play. So that was really incredible to see as well.
They have an insane roster.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Talent.
It's unfortunate what they did this last offseason. They didn't really make too many big moves, and the Orioles they're not paying for it, but they're not what they were last year, which is kind of sad to see, but it is what it is.
They have got a great team. It's great to see. So you got Adley Rutschman. We'll say him as your framing.
Okay.
And General Swag. Who's going to be?
Oh man,
Jack. You can't say Jack. He's sat next to you.
See that was at the top. That was the top one. Yeah.
He took it. He's good at that. Does it with me all the time.
Oh man, General looks just swag. I don't know, man. I don't really look at baseball players like that.
Damn, I do all the time.
Except Bobby Witt, maybe. Bobby Witt, he has incredible. Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah, plays for the Royals.
Yeah.
I can't forget about Salvador Perez. I think Salvi is definitely up there as well. He brought so much love and passion to the game, and he truly is one of the. Again, I keep saying it, but they one of the greatest. So.
Just on a MLB, we don't want to talk about MLB too much, but generally, just as a player, I'm a Diamondbacks fan. Cartel Marte, have you been watching him lately?
Mm-hmm.
He is an insane batsman.
Yeah.
If you could put a batsman onto that, I'd probably go Marte. He is incredible. Every time he steps up to the plate, you're guaranteed a runner.
I will put Luis Arias on the Padres over Ketel Marte.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a great batsman. I'd also like to see... I don't know.
Don't just name Diamondback players either.
I know, but I like Diamondback players.
Yeah, I'm a Dodgers fan, but I've just named more than... I've only named one Dodger.
Yeah.
So
you played high school baseball?
Yeah.
You didn't play anything younger?
No.
How does it work high school then? So you played high school. Who did you play for after that?
So high school for us is 4 years.
Yeah.
We have junior varsity and varsity teams, right? We have the lower and the uppers. I played JV through freshman, sophomore, and junior year.
Yeah.
And then I did not play my senior year. Actually, my last year of school, I did not play. It was very political.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure a couple of my mates and I, we believe that some of the parents' dads were like slide some cash in the coach's pocket so they could play. And I just didn't agree with that. I didn't think that, money should overrule in high school.
No way.
And obviously it does in the majors, but that,
there's a lot of money passed around.
There's a lot of money passed around there,
but a lot of teammates.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. That's probably why it was like, that's our chance.
Yeah. So after high school, I took a short hiatus, and then I started finding clubs and teams just like this.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for the last couple of years, last 4-ish years.
Yeah.
I played mainly in Virginia for the Chesapeake Burners and the War Dogs.
The War Dogs is a cool name.
Yeah. So I played for the War Dogs, and now I'm playing for the Warhammers.
There you go.
So now I got to find another team. Yeah, I got to find another team that has war in it. Yeah,
war in it. Yeah, baby.
So you're playing like high school baseball. Was there anybody there when they was playing? Did you play anyone and think, damn, yeah, they were?
There were a couple people.
Yeah. Because I always find, because it's such a big game over there.
Yeah.
And there's so many levels before you hit the show. Are there so many really good players that just never make it?
Yeah, no, it happens. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I saw some amazing guys. I caught for some amazing guys.
So what would you say is the difference? Obviously, we don't know baseball like you do. The difference between those players and them ones that go a little bit more. What would you say is the huge difference? Because obviously, when we're watching MLB, every play is great. That's all be there. I like to watch the AAA and the AA stuff on MLB Network. I like to watch all that, but they're all great players. So there's got to be a huge jump from high school to that next step. When you're
honestly, I for the work that I saw that people put in, it really just depends on how much work you're putting in outside.
To what though? What would you say?
To any part of your game.
Yeah.
Going to practice Monday through Friday, you can go and you can go through the motions, right? you can go catch a ball, throw a ball, hit a ball, but it's what you do on Saturday. It's what you do. Do you stay another hour after because you swung like shit in the cage?
Yeah.
So now, okay, I'm hitting everything. I'm pulling everything. Let me work on that outside pitch to try to get it up the middle, right? So are you staying after? Are you watching film? Are you? It really just depends on how much effort you put into it, just like anything else, really. And I think that's really what makes people that's really the jump.
Yeah, I love coaching. I'm a big advocate for studying on that. And I saw this. I can't remember the guy's name. He's from America, and he said you get certain players. You get three sets of players. You get A for talent, A for mentality. He says those are very rare. They come along, they've got everything. They work hard and they play. Second player, A for talent, B for mentality. They'll do one thing great every week, but they won't work hard enough to do it. Player 3, B talent, A mentality, great. And eventually you'll see that player overtake. And it's true. And you'll see that then player overtake and become player number 2. Yeah. And they'll go on to see. And that's what it was just an interesting question to ask you, really. Yeah. What's the huge difference between the good players and then that make it? Because
I mean, with that quote in itself, it's mentality, right? Like, what are you doing outside of the eyes of the coach and outside of the eyes of the scout, right? Like, you can go to a combine and do everything right, but just have I'm the shit mentality. I'm the best, right? And people read that off the body. Yeah. But you go there and you're like, I'm an average player, but I love the game, and I'm gonna put everything into this, not because I'm good, but because I want it.
You see the difference in those players as well.
There's a huge difference.
But it's more noticeable when you start from the bottom and go up. If you're already at the top, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So you see that difference straight away. You go, well, he was down here before. Now he's.
I mean, I had a great career in rugby. And I've seen that. I've seen players who were really good, but had a real shit mentality. Then you had someone like me who I was all right, but I really wanted to be better. And eventually, you do overtake them people, and it's great. It was just a question because in rugby, all dependent on the team you're playing in. It's such a team game. Where baseball, sometimes it's just you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're playing shortstop, third base in that hot corner, and you don't feel them grounders coming to you, it's a long shit day.
Especially if those points if they're hitting balls there consistently.
That's what runs. They're runs. They are not points.
You will learn. Do you not read the comments?
I do. I'm sorry. Sometimes I do it to piss people off.
No.
But when that ball's coming in the hot corner and three's just missing it all the time.
Yeah.
And by points, I mean like that point there in the field.
Not okay. Okay.
I know it's a run.
But sometimes in training you can work on them hops all day. Yeah. And you get them all the time in training. Come to game day.
Yeah, that one.
It's just slips your mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you played high school, played War Dogs.
Yep.
Okay. So catching all time?
I caught and I played short.
Yeah. Shortstop.
Yeah, it was one of my best friends, my throwing partner that I missed. Hopefully you're watching this, Justin Rosa. Him and I would switch between catch and short. Yeah. And he really got me into a better mindset. Actually, I'd like to thank him real quick. Just better at catching, better at being a good shortstop, and taught me a lot. We'd go to practice, but then I'd call him up on the weekend and be like, "Hey, let's go to the field real quick." Yeah. And we'd sit out there for 2 or 3 hours, and just I'd put my shins on and put my chest on, and he would just pelt me with balls, just to ensure that I remembered to block.
Yeah.
Right, and take short hops, take backhands.
It's a skill. Blocking is a skill.
Yeah.
I've caught for 3 seasons, and I must admit, I have never mastered that. I don't know if I started too late to try and do it or whatever. It is a difficult. It's not doing the motion that's hard. It's reading that.
It's cool. Yeah,
it's reading. It's reading the pitch. If the pitch is coming low, it's reading that when to transfer to blocking. Yeah. Where naturally, I just want to chuck the glove in front of it and stop it going from behind.
Which is not a bad mindset to have. Like that video you sent me, the guy like lead with the glove essentially.
Yeah. So
your instinct is to naturally block it. You're already doing something right straight away. If you naturally just it's going past and you've not moved any part.
Yeah.
There's
right. I would say that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
My first game this season, I caught. I think I had 2 pass balls, and I was really really happy with that performance. And then the next game that I caught, there were a couple that squeezed past, and I kind of everybody sees it. Like I kind of hit myself on the leg for it. I'm like, come on, I got to get around that. And then then I get into my head, and then I can start to move around. And then sometimes when I'm just not thinking about it, I'm just looking at the pitcher, I'm looking at the runner, I see it just start to drop, and I'm like, yeah, let me throw my body in front of that real quick. So it is a back and forth mind game with myself, and that's I think where one of my problems is that I'm actually currently working on. So
what other position would you want to play? If you say we said catcher, we said shortstop. If you could play anywhere else,
I think second would be a good position for me as well. Not as much time to think as short, or like you have a little bit more time to think being at second than shortstop, because most of the balls, except when you played,
except when I played,
most of the balls will go to short. Yeah, I would love to play second. Being able to turn double plays with your shortstop, and being able to just, kind of control, like obviously the shortstop controls the middle infield, but being able to just talk to your shortstop and talk to the guys. Like when I'm catching, I have the umpire and the batter to talk to.
The worst, my arch nemesis. The umpire is my arch nemesis.
But yeah, I'll just shoot the shit with them. And for anybody that's watching and wants to play, if you do want to catch, definitely talk to the umpire. He'll
don't argue with the umpire.
Yeah, don't argue with the umpire. But when you talk
on your side,
when you talk to the umpire and you get friendly and you can crack jokes and he's laughing, he'll give you some of those close calls, and that's really nice. So. But yeah, I think second would be really fun.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. College ball. So you never went to college to play baseball?
I did not go to college.
Do you regret doing that, or do you wish you had tried college baseball?
I think not playing senior year really shattered a lot of hopes that I had.
Yeah.
Because senior year is when you start to look at and getting scouted. Well, junior year, but not being on varsity really kind of hindered that. Not playing senior year, I kind of got out of the baseball mentality. Obviously, I'd watch it and I'd follow it, and I still loved it.
Yeah.
But not playing it definitely changes.
Yeah.
I think going to college to play college ball would have been incredible.
Yeah.
But
is it the same as obviously American football when they go to college? They're basically professional when they do that. Near enough. Is it the same sort of setup?
It's not looked at as much as college football. Obviously, like college football is probably. It's up there in the top sports to watch. Yeah. But there's you get to travel, you get to play ball everywhere. Yeah. I think I probably would have gotten too invested in baseball rather than my studies, and that would have caused me to potentially not play. In that student athlete portion, I definitely would take athlete over being a student. Yeah. So I think being able to just work a solid 9 to 5 and go play baseball with my buddies on the weekends and throughout the week is fine now.
Yeah. Baseball in itself, I've grown to love the game. Yeah. I've grown to love everything it represents. Really, I love watching it. I love how chilled you can have it as a family day. You can go with your mates, have some beer, have some food. I love the stats about it.
Yeah,
I love the stats, and one of my favorite stats when I'm watching. Is I love to see how many bases get stolen, because obviously we're used to playing this.
Yes.
Last year I stole a serious amount of bases, and I know that would never happen. That would never happen in any degree.
How many did you steal, by the way?
60, I think.
60.
Yeah, but that would never happen in a higher degree level. What's your favourite stat in baseball? What's your favourite when you look at it? When you're watching, what's the stat you're looking to find?
God, there's so many now, and they just keep. They just keep. Honestly, like I really like on-base percentage.
Yeah.
On-base percentage is a huge stat, because your on-base percentage can be high, but your batting average can be low.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have the guy with the higher OBS. Just that guy is doing things for the team. Yeah. He's getting on base. He could potentially steal, right? You get on 2, you're in scoring position, something deep into the outfield or through, you're scoring. So I think that's definitely bigger for the team.
What amazes me with the game as well, like you can face a pitcher 10 times, and if you hit the ball 3 times, you've had a great game.
No, yeah.
That to us in like this country and any other sport, you go, that's not a great day.
No, you're hitting 333.
No, that's good. For me, hitting one ball for the whole day.
You've been hitting a ball a season, mate.
Exactly, one season.
5?
That's too much now.
You hit the ball? Nice. But yeah, 3 times out of 10, this class is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's an award for that, I believe, isn't there? Just most hits, most contact made. Is that right?
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's a Silver Slugger.
Yeah. So basically, just for hitting.
I could be wrong. I'm sorry to the Americans.
I think it's pretty much. If someone can message the YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure it's just how many times they hit the ball. I don't think it counts for runs or anything.
Oh, just most hits?
I think it's just the most contacts you make. I'm sure they win an award for that. I'm sure Bryce Harper won it the other year.
It's probably the Silver Slugger.
Okay.
I don't
know.
But
the foul balls and everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So if people are watching this, if any of Chase's mates who have more knowledge than Chase, just let us know if that's an award. I'm pretty sure.
As a guest, he doesn't know nothing.
Oh,
he knows nothing about.
That's
baseball.
a good one. Taking the piss, huh?
Taking the piss.
Taking the piss.
So yeah, so we're going to move on to the next part. So the next part of the show is up to Jackie.
Yes, it's
This
me.
is the
This
quick
is the more
fire.
This is the more fun, not really baseball related kind of part. I suppose.
You know,
this is the bit I can get involved in.
Oh, great! Here we go.
Back and forth. So we do a quick fire 5 on pretty much every podcast with a guest. Yeah. But before we do that, can you please reach into my magical cup and try this little
My
snack
magical
we've got
cup.
to you. We'd like to get
So just explain to people who aren't watching this or on Spotify, what have you got in your hand at the moment?
Do you know what it is?
Uh-uh.
You know
You
what it's
don't know
called?
what it is?
No.
Give us a quick description of what it is.
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's some kind of like pastry.
I guess so.
It's a pie of sorts.
It's a pie.
Yeah. Go on, talk us through it. Talk us through the.
There's some meat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this is this what you were talking about? The Cornish?
No. Oh, he was about to call it Cornish pasty. We've just lost loads of Cornish followers. My dad's not going to watch this anymore.
I'm American, so I think it's okay.
Dad, ignore him. It's not Cornish pasty.
He likes it, though.
He likes it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Have a guess. No?
That is the infamous pork pie.
But that's a twist. That's a pickled
twist
pork pie.
to that one.
It's good.
You like that?
No,
You
it's
like
actually
the
really
pickled
good.
pork pie?
Yes.
How bad?
Boom, baby. We like the pork pie. Good.
I love a pork pie. Tell you what's better. If you get a normal pork pie, cut it half and put Coleman's on.
What? Bit of what?
Coleman's mustard.
Oh, mustard.
Not like your mustard where you put loads on.
Mate, it's like a little.
Yeah, you only have to put a little bit to blow your head off.
Oh, that's some hot
I'm
stuff.
gonna buy one that for tomorrow at training.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring.
That's actually really good.
You like
Where can I get those?
Co-op.
Yeah.
Easy.
The cooperative or any supermarket.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say the name, but
we're
any
not branding.
any
Yeah,
decent
not sponsored,
supermarket.
guys.
We're not sponsored yet, so shut up.
Right, let's go, Jack.
Okay,
Right.
quick fire. Favorite sports team. Doesn't have to be baseball related.
Oh.
Just any sport, anywhere. What was your favorite team?
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah.
Any reason? In particular?
This is what my family grew up with. We all say back home like we bleed blue. Like I've been following the Dodgers all my life. So
yeah.
And then especially when they won the World Series last year, I was almost in tears. So one of the greatest moments.
Without Shohei pitching as well.
Yeah.
He's not a bad pitcher though, is he?
No, he's an amazing pitcher.
He's not a bad pitcher.
But
he's not bad on the bat either.
Not bad on the bat.
Not bad on the bat.
Not bad on the bat. Made history last season.
He's
Thank you.
insane on the bat. He's incredible. Should have said that earlier in the podcast. We should have put Shohei as our batsman.
Yeah.
Never mind, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Yeah, it's your part. Yeah.
Sports icon. Same again. It doesn't have to be baseball.
Oh man.
Just anyone that you've ever looked in sport and been like, wow, they're just absolutely amazing.
Excuse me. Probably Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Just it's cliche, but his Mamba mentality, like he put his heart and soul into the game. Somebody asked him like, "How do you feel about the win tonight?" And he was like, "Game's like the job's not done.
Yeah.
Like we still have another game or two to win the series." So, Kobe just with his mentality.
Yeah,
that's a strong answer.
Yeah,
that is a strong answer.
Mentality in sport takes you everywhere. I think
you've got to have a strong mentality.
Yeah,
because whether you play for a small team or a championship-winning team, nobody ever wants to go on and lose.
No.
Now we all appreciate not everyone gets paid for it, but still you've got to have that mentality of if you don't perform and somebody else wants to win that game, you've got to perform to help them out.
Yep.
And if someone turns around and says to you that ain't good enough, you take that on the chin and you keep going.
Yeah.
Nobody means anything personally.
Yeah.
No.
When you're on the field, nobody means anything personally. So mentality is key.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Right, you're on a desert island. You can have one food of your choice.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. There you go.
What, just general potatoes?
You can grow potatoes in almost any
Boil
climate.
them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
That was the
Yeah.
shittest answer. I was expecting something amazing.
I kind of like that.
I mean, it's a genius answer.
If I need to survive, if I'm on a deserted island and I need to
You just
survive,
want a potato for the rest of your life.
Well, you can't. Oh, you could boil them actually. You're gonna have to make a pan first, though.
Yeah, you haven't got
I'll
a pan.
figure it out.
In a coconut husk.
And then what you got to do with water? I suppose you get from the sea and boil it.
Yeah,
Coconut.
and
You can have
stick it in.
coconut.
Now
and
it's
potato.
salted.
Coconut and potato.
Yeah, see,
You can
come
be the next
on.
Gordon Ramsay.
Come on.
Yeah. You can do a lot with potatoes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it sounds like you can
Definitely.
survive.
Yeah,
Survive.
that's a good one actually. What did Sean say? What was his
Oh,
answer?
what was Sean? I can't remember what Sean said. See, mine was pretty shitty, really. I'd say a burger, but I'd have to have a chef on there to cook it for me.
Yeah,
And there'd be no cows there. What the fuck do I do?
yeah.
What would I do?
Shit, yeah. I haven't even got.
I
that.
identify as a cow.
Look at
Moo.
Start carving yourself.
Yeah, I don't need this leg. Okay. Your best baseball moment today.
Oh man. Probably the first game that my grandfather ever watched me play in high school. Real quick backstory. I'll make it quick. My when I first started getting into it, my sophomore year when I started catching, my grandparents bought me, like I went back to California. So I'm from Las Vegas. I went back to California and they got me a they like booked a whole catching camp for me, and I went to like a 6 or 7 week catching camp.
Nice.
And I learned a lot of it. They bought me a brand new glove, which I still have and still use to this day. And that was back in 2014. So
What do you use cable ties for on game day?
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, so it actually just broke. I'm looking to order myself a new one, but still have that glove, still use it to this day.
You'll have to frame it.
Yeah, I'm never getting rid of that glove.
100%.
So yeah, thank you, Nana and Grandpa.
Thank you.
But yeah, being able to see the look on my grandfather's eyes, like when I step up to the plate and when I was catching, and I did everything that I went to the camp for.
Yeah.
That was one of the most
Showing
incredible.
them what they paid you is paid off. 100%.
Yeah, one of the most incredible moments of my life.
That's amazing.
That's a good answer. I like that. Okay, Chase, what's the bat?
So I used
Bats.
two. Yeah, I used two. My first one, which I've been swinging for a while, is a Victus, the J-Rod, 32 inch. That's Julio Rodriguez's model. I also had the Fernando Tatis model, but unfortunately that one got broke in batting practice by our lovely Jacob Coben. Love you, Jacob.
That's nice.
So then, because I'm a little bit taller, or I think I'm taller.
I was going to say, who do you think?
Yeah,
is taller?
I think I'm a bit taller.
That's about it.
I just recently picked up this Marucci. It's the Lindor 12 Custom 34. Bit heavier, a lot heavier, 2 inches longer.
Yeah.
But I think with the weight that I have behind it, I can definitely like move get some balls going pretty good.
Marucci
It's
is a
fine.
nice brand. Obviously,
Marucci is a
I
nice
just bought a
brand.
new infield glove, and Marucci, it's a very nice glove. Been
And-
breaking that in over the weekend.
And for the people that are wondering, because you probably don't see it on a lot, all this stuff on the handle and the barrel right below the logo, that's it's pine tar.
I'd love to have
I'm
go
a
with
big-
pine tar.
I'm a big pine tar guy.
I've
For
never
those
used it. I don't know what.
for those of you that don't know, it's just a sticky substance. It helps me keep grip on the ball, but it's illegal to use when you throw a ball. So just make sure you don't have any sticky stuff on your fingers when you go to pitch the ball.
I don't think I really
Wouldn't that
use
make it harder though?
No, it increases the spin.
Yeah, 'cause
you get a better grip.
You've added weight
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
the ball, I suppose.
Where you grip on your finger, you
okay.
you can push
Yeah.
that.
Ah.
You're able to get a faster
It's a
spin
bit
rate.
like, do you remember the cricket debacle the other year? You won't know the cricket one, where Australia got done for having sandpaper in
Oh
his pocket.
yeah, that's right.
Took sandpaper out and
Oh.
he rubbed the ball
Yeah.
to add more more friction on it. So when it hit the ground, it
But it was like
Yeah.
blatant though as well, wasn't it?
didn't near enough.
It
Yeah.
was just like
Well, amazing when he did that as well. He had a white piece of sandpaper and they have a yellow uniform.
yeah.
Just thought it looked like a bit of yellow going.
Look better.
So as this is the Warhammers podcast, we haven't really touched on the Warhammers.
Yeah.
So I remember when you messaged the group, and straight away I turned around to my wife and I said, this guy's sounds, he sounds really keen. He sounds like he's going to it. So what's your experience so far of the Warhammers? Enjoying it?
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. The group of guys that come out here, I would say everybody's name, but our roster is massive now,
Yeah,
and it just keeps growing, right? We the couple of the guys that I work with, they were able to come out. So we have 3 Americans, we have 2 Aussies, or 4 Americans because Mike just came out.
Good old Mike.
So I feel like we keep growing every day. And I was talking to somebody else at work who might actually be keen on coming out as well. So
there you go.
Just how open everybody is. I came out and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
And you helped on maintenance day.
Oh yeah, I came out for maintenance day. Yeah. I used to do field work at the field all the time. So, but the group of guys that we have is just incredible. Yeah. That everybody's always happy and upbeat, and always picking each other up. Strike out, ground out, fly out. Oh, unlucky. Everybody pats him on the back when he gets back in. Makes a error or whatever. Hey, we'll get him next time. We'll work on that in practice. So the energy that the clubhouse brings is truly incredible.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on the one thing what we spoke about a few times, haven't we? We all work and we all want somewhere nice. We want somewhere to come and just get away from work, get away from general shit in life, really. And that's the environment we want. When people come, we want people to enjoy the fact that they're here. Friday night, we had Friday night beers in the clubhouse and a bit of cornhole last Friday. It's just brilliant, and when people like yourself say that, we're doing a job right.
Yeah, it's a getaway, isn't it?
Everybody wants to win, everyone wants to win the division, but as long as you're winning when people are happy and want to play baseball.
What I like about coming here the most as well is when I come here, I forget about everything else.
Yeah.
So I could be super stressed with work or stuff going on.
And then you just turn up and Chase, you're shouting at
you. As soon as I get here, everything else I forget about, and I'm like, cool.
On that, one of the best things I think about this team in general is you. The amount of effort and pride and joy that you put into this team. It sounds really funny, but I love waking up on Fridays and we get that voice message when you're driving to work and you're like, good morning, Warhammers. It's Warhammer Friday, right? Like that just gets me going for the day. Like, let me hurry up and get out of work so that I can get out with the boys and go play baseball.
Yeah. So on Friday when you don't do it and we're all like,
where
is it?
Yeah.
Oh no,
what's gone wrong?
Yeah.
Messenger,
what's gone wrong?
This phone must be broke.
It's just nice, it's nice to have that environment that people can come to and enjoy being here, and these are really nice things to hear. But obviously we got quite a few players. Anybody impress you? Generally just gone, damn, he can actually play, or she can play, or.
Well, number one, you. I mean, obviously, you put a lot of effort into the game, like I've said before. So just seeing that, that baseball being something from America and like my culture, and I've come up with it. Not knowing the expectation coming out here, really, really impressive. Buff, playing it first, big guy. I always see him strapping up his knees. He has braces on his knees and his ankles. But
that last Liverpool game we went to,
we
got me and Buff for the first ones there. He spent almost half an hour wrapping up, going, I need to get, I'm ready. And I was like, mate, the fact that you've got to put that much tape on is crazy.
Buffy, love that guy.
Yeah.
Harry is an amazing pitcher. I was expecting.
I always say I would have loved to have seen Harry pitching 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, no, by far.
Imagine where he'd be now.
His mechanics are incredible. His speed is good. Harry, I need you to lock in and dial in, maybe in the second and not the third. Get that going. Yeah. But other than that, everybody on the team, honestly, everybody, from when I first came out and what I saw the videos in the off season, everybody has definitely grown, and it's so nice to see. We come out on Tuesday, we work things, we come out Friday, and those things that we worked are instilled, and they're not making those same mistakes and those errors. So it's everybody, honestly, I shout out to the entire Warhammers team. Like, everybody's putting that work in.
So this season, for those who haven't watched or have, we won the division last year and we got promotion with it. Such a huge step up. And me personally, I love going to these games. And whether the score be 14-0 or whatever, there's always something to learn from it. Yeah. And ambition-wise, I just want to take as much knowledge as I can personally as a selfish thing, and for the team to enjoy it and watch. What would you like? What would you like the team to take away from this year?
Just being able to pick each other up.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm a really bad person of this. I'll strike out or I'll miss a ball. And I let that sit on my face and my chest and my shoulders. Right. I'll miss a ball and you might hear me scream as I'm running to it, like, fuck. Right. Like I need to get better about that.
I think some of that's just, you really want to do well.
Yeah, no, that's
it's not
just being
always-
prideful. But just knowing that I can go back to the dugout and everybody be like, hey, maybe don't dip in your swing, or like just being able to pick up on these things and knowing and watching. Like I understand I love to bullshit on the side while we're hitting, but like watching the game, learning from these bigger teams, like Liverpool, for example.
They were a bit.
They were incredible, and I told them that they could easily compete with an American-based team, which I think if I were them, that's a huge thing, right? So they were just really fundamentally sound hitting. They were fundamentally sound on the field. So I just would like that we pick up things from what they're doing.
We're almost them next year, like by the end of the year.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
If we can get to that level that they're at now,
you get to that level.
No, 1,000%.
Yeah,
you get to that work.
We've done something well.
We had a real technical session the other Tuesday when we were spoken about defensive plays.
I think that's the first time since I've been here that we see practice sessions included sitting down and having a chat rather than just.
I just thought when we play some games, I thought what we would do if we can actually see it.
Yeah.
Defensively, what you do as a player who isn't involved, but what they can do off the ball.
Yep.
And we was doing, and it's the bit in between getting the ball and having the ball that really makes a difference in baseball.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And the understanding, I think, as well. Is that you would ask people like, right, where are you going if the ball's going here? And there were a lot of like, and then you'd get one or two people, more experienced players like yourself, go, well, you're going there to fill in for them going forward to here.
Yeah.
Having that knowledge anyway in a game day helps because instinctively I'm going here.
Yeah.
If you're in outfield and you don't know to come in, you're just like, well, I'm supposed to be out here. That can also.
But as well, people think when you're just an outfielder, you sat there.
Yeah.
But if you can learn what to do off the ball,
that's what I mean. There's a lot of hustle, really, as an outfielder.
There's loads of it.
Support and stuff.
Loads of it. So thank you very much for joining us, Chase.
Yes.
Thank you very much
of
for having
course.
us on board.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for watching. We're now on Spotify as well.
Yes.
I am a tech genius and I figured out how to do it.
What's a VPN?
I don't know, but I've managed to do something to an MP3 and we're on Spotify. So again, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chase, for
thank you guys. Thank you guys.
And anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, #Hammertime.
Hammertime.
Hammertime.
Peace. Nice.